Do you want to know why most e-commerce brands fail at hiring creative strategists? After analyzing over 40 creative strategist hires at 99 ads and dozens more for our licensing partners, I discovered something fascinating. The reason why most creative strategists fail has nothing to do with their experience, their portfolio, or even their skills. In fact, some of our best performing creative strategists came from backgrounds that might shock you. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how we hire creative strategists that consistently deliver winners, including the 5 core skills to look for, our entire hiring process that allowed us to spend multiple 9 figures in ads, and the best backgrounds to look for. And if you stay till the end of the video, I'll give you access to our complete hiring SOPs for free. Now, to help you understand exactly how to find and hire amazing creative strategists, I'm going to break down this entire video into 3 critical parts. Let's start with what actually makes a great creative strategist in 2025. If you don't understand these core skills, you'll be wasting thousands of dollars hiring the wrong people. So, what is a creative strategist? A creative strategist needs 5 core skills in 2025. First, they need to understand data. They need to look at the Facebook ad account and instantly spot what's working and what isn't. But I'm not just talking about basic metrics like ROAS, hold rate, hook rate. They need to be fluent in all the funnel metrics. And that's why some of our best creative strategists actually started as media buyers. They understand the entire funnel, not just the creative part. Now, second core skill they need to master is writing abilities. They need strong writing abilities, not just for ad copy, but also for the briefs that they will be putting together for your video editors and graphic designers. Now, look, AI has completely changed the game in 2025, but here's what most people don't realize. You still need somebody who can recognize good copy from bad copy, who knows exactly how to guide AI with the right prompts, who can take the AI output and turn it into something that actually converts. And obviously, don't forget that your creative strategist will be managing your entire creative team. So clear written communication skills are simply a non-negotiable. Core skill number 3 is creativity. We're not talking about artistic creativity. I'm talking about the type of creativity that allows you to take one winning angle and turn it into 20 different variations. And here's the key. I'm talking about meaningful variations. I'm talking about variations that I'm happy to spend money on to test out. I can tell you how many creative strategists I've seen who just change button colors or swap the CTA and call it a day. That doesn't cut it anymore. We need someone who can create variations that are worth testing, real, meaningful changes that could actually move the needle. Then core skills number 4 and 5 are production and post-production knowledge. They need to know what's possible to do in a shooting set or on Premiere Pro. This is absolutely crucial because without it, they'll be flying blind. I've seen creative strategists write impossible briefs simply because they don't understand basic production limitations and they've never been on a set. Or worse, they can't call BS when a video editor says something cannot be done or is going to take 1 week rather than 2 hours. You need somebody who understands both worlds to effectively lead a creative team. Now that you understand what makes a creative strategist great in 2025, then I know what you're wondering. Where do I find these people? And this brings us to our most crucial part of the process, finding and hiring creative strategists. After making all the mistakes in the book and wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars, we figured out that finding a good creative strategist comes down to a 7-step process: sourcing, screening, interviewing, hiring, training, managing, and retaining. And by the way, we take care of this entire thing for our licensing partners. We literally install our entire creative system into your company. If you're interested, go in the description box and check out the VSL. If not, I also recently uploaded an entire video breaking down how we find new candidates with our 7-step process. I'll make it pop up here, but watch this one first. Just finish this video and then move on to the next one. Long story short, the main takeaway is that most ecom owners tend to settle for just a few candidates and pick the least worst. And that's a big mistake. We don't even start screening candidates until we get to the right volume. And the right volume when it comes to creative strategists is anywhere between 100 and 200 candidates, at least in my experience. I know that sounds obnoxious. I know that number sounds absolutely crazy, but anything less and you're just gambling with your hiring. Now, you have two main ways to source candidates, inbound and outbound. I like inbound the most, and LinkedIn ads has been our secret weapon for the longest time. If you put together a clear job post with the right title and clear scorecard, you can do some real damage. Here, I will ask the team to add the B-roll of one of our latest job posts so you can see how we manage the job post, what type of titles we use, and so on. You can also do something that we call LinkedIn hacking, and you can basically go on LinkedIn and see what your competitors or big companies are using for their job posts. It's super easy. If you want me to create an entire walkthrough process and show you how we do it, just let me know in the comment section and I'll do it in the next video. Now, the second type is outbound. And outbound is the classic headhunting. It's not bad, but I believe it tends to be a little overrated. I really don't need to explain how it works because it's self-explanatory, but we get bombarded by headhunting agencies every single day. In rating a candidate simply based on the company they worked at is not a good strategy. Most of the time you end up overpaying mediocre candidates just to let them go in a few weeks, and especially if you hire from agencies. And this is something that nobody talks about, but what works in an agency doesn't always translate effectively to a single brand. But we can talk about this in another video if you're interested. Again, just let me know in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to rant over this topic. Finally, here's the most important part that nobody gets right. You can hire the best candidate in the world, but if you neglect training, managing, and retaining, you'll be back to square zero in about 3 to 6 months. And speaking of hiring the best candidates, after a while, we started noticing something that was fascinating about what backgrounds tend to succeed the most in our company. And this completely changed how we evaluate candidates. Now, this hiring process is incredibly powerful, but there's one more piece of the puzzle that will completely change how you approach hiring creative strategists. And these are the best backgrounds for creative strategists. Again, after hiring over 40 creative strategists for ourselves, we started seeing clear patterns in which backgrounds consistently delivered results. And it's probably not what you're thinking. Everyone assumes that ex-agency creative strategists are the dream hire. They understand data, they know the formulas, they've got direct response training, but here's the problem nobody talks about. They're often stuck in their own agency ways. Most of them have only worked at 1 or 2 agencies and they've been trained to think a certain way, and it's incredibly hard to get them to adapt to what a single brand actually needs. The second type of background, this is kind of a controversial one, is artists. These folks can come up with incredible out-of-the-box ideas. They'll make your ads look beautiful if you find the right person. Obviously, I'm overgeneralizing, so don't quote me on each and every single word I'm saying here. But trying to get them to understand we are making ads and not art is a whole different battle. Plus, most of them see this as a side gig most of the time while they work on their real passion project. The moment their art takes off, they're gone. And that's going to happen overnight most of the time. We need them to figure out fast if this is just a job or a career path for them. Another background, and this is probably my favorite, surprisingly, is video editors. They understand production inside out. They worked with creative strategists before, and they know exactly what works and what doesn't. When an editor gives feedback on your creative strategist, it's pure gold because they know exactly how to execute it. The only downside is their initial strategy learning curve might be a little longer than usual, but that's teachable. And that's why promoting video editors is one of our best hacks to find new creative strategists. Then you have media buyers. Media buyers are absolutely killers with data. They will build every creative idea around solid metrics and keep your whole team data focused. But here's the catch. Many of them struggle with the creative side. They can't tell you exactly why an ad works and why it doesn't. But creating fresh creative concepts is often their weak spot. And this is where you see most of that ad fatigue happening, because you pretty much keep repeating the same ideas again and again and again. Another goldmine that I absolutely adore is content creators. They get social trends, they understand what makes videos work, and they usually edit their own content. The only downside is that many of them are used to working solo, and some treat this just like another platform to build their personal brand. We need to make sure that, again, just like it happened with the artists, they're actually committed to your brand's success. Another background that I love, that I absolutely like, is writers. As an old copywriter, writers can be absolute gems. They will elevate the entire team's writing game, and good copy is still crucial even in 2025. But there's usually a learning curve to get them up to speed when it comes to direct response writing applied to social media ads. And that's a whole different beast from what they're used to most of the time. Finally, and here's probably my favorite controversial take, some of our best performing creative strategists came straight out of college. They're hungry, they're eager to learn, and they're usually way cheaper than experienced hires. Now, the real advantage is that most of them have grown up with social media ads. They've grown up with TikTok, they've grown up with Facebook, Instagram. They can spot BS from a mile away, and even when watching your own ads, they can feel if there's something off because they've been targeted from ads their entire life. And yes, they need more guidance, but with the right systems in place for training and managing, they might become some absolute rock stars. This is maybe not the perfect fit for a brand if you want to hit the ground running right away. But in the future, if you hire a senior creative strategist, then having a junior one that just came out of college, it's not that bad, and it's actually a great opportunity to get somebody to grow within your company. So I know what you're thinking now. After all these years of hiring us, after all these creative strategists you hired, what is the best background you recommend? And the answer is there's no one size fits all. But I'll tell you, what consistently works best for us is video editors, creative strategists, and media buyers. Video editors, especially when promoted internally, already understand performance and how to execute. Media buyers have the data-driven mindset that's so crucial for performance, and if you combine them with a great video editor who's absolutely passionate about what they're doing, then they're going to compensate each other between media and data. Now, both paths worked incredibly well, both for us and for our licensing partners. So this is probably the direction I would go to in 2025 if you were trying to hire new creative strategists. By now, you've seen exactly how a systemized creative strategist hiring process can change the trajectory of any e-com brand. But what you've seen in this video is just the foundation. If your e-commerce store is making over $1 million a year, this is your inflection point. This is where building your own creative team becomes not just a possibility, but necessary to keep growing. We've documented our entire process in a 71-page case study on how to build your creative team. This is the same system that dozens of e-com stores are using to find and hire amazing creative strategists. If you want to get access to our entire framework, just go in the description box and click the link to download our case study. Whether your goal is finding more creative strategists, building your dream team, or just making sure that you never hire the wrong person again, you'll definitely want to download this guide. The hard part isn't just hiring creative strategists. The hard part is building, managing, and scaling the entire creative department while also ramping up your ads and growing your business. That's what's very hard to do if you don't have a proven system to follow and a team of veterans who've done this multiple times to help you and support you along the way. So don't wait. Click the link below, download the guide, and start building your dream creative team today following our proven system. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.